Howdy, and welcome. Today's the key in the room. Hey, it's a result of that Paul Kingsnorth thing. I haven't even checked the Discord yet to see what is manifested in the Loom Room with regards to our distillate with that, nor how much you folks have been using the 7 indigos in the clip stream to indicate the ones we're going to play on Friday. Today's been there's waking up, and then there's grateful to, and there's this long valley of the shadow of death in between. But hey, like, I'm here, and look at the all-star cast we got in the Hive Mind today. Hello, shalom, everybody, welcome. So Gavin kind of hit a home run for Gavin today, I thought. But first, we're gonna need savings throws. And for that, there's this thing here. That, let's see, is it done premiering now? Can I search around? Yes, okay, come here. Well, just watch, I guess. Ain't nobody got time for that. But the deal is, Burns getting 11 people together in October, and I was watching his premiere of that this morning, and in there I found something beautiful that I didn't bother to clip, and so I'm doing this now. Here we go. We'll start here.
Times, how do we go forward in an age when on one side we have complete commerciality, on another side we have political propaganda, and on a third side we have nihilism? And these three things seem to make up most of what people experience as culture these days: propaganda, commerciality, and nihilism, and sometimes all three together.
And I thought to myself, you know what, Byrne? That is like a very succinct description of what one might find here on the Grim Grizz live stream, and I thank you for that. And against my...
To make up most of what people experience as culture these days: propaganda, commerciality, and nihilism, and sometimes all three together.
We give you savings throws against them. And you get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, and heart. And I'm going to roll that one too today. Choose! You know, I don't even have a clip of when Vanderklay said, choose! Survivalist. 2. Socialist. 15. Lovers of wisdom. 19. One day I'll be good at this. One day. That's the 19. There. I saw it. See it over there. And hard folks. With a 12. Indigo kids. So Byrne, tell us about this gathering for a second.
And then asking these questions along the way. What can we do in our cultures to aid the revival, the growth of new shoots on branches that have been pruned almost back to square one? What can we do to provide a world, at least our own world, at least our own rooms, see my video, with some sort of new emphasis on art, on creative outworkings, cultural things. In other words, I think one of the big problems with all these people finding people on YouTube, that's great. But, and this is what I learned at the Bridges of Meaning Festival, it's
So Gavin hit a home run today, I thought, and +2 to Anami, to CHINO, and ups, and also the +2 for using the emojis to Shad and Magic. Gavin hit a home run today, even in his titling, with Unlocking the Power of Empathy, learning to love and understand our enemies. So here's a piece of that.
And how people in the past had seen the world, and not just Christians. It kind of opened me to the possibility of wonder and strangeness and connections that today we can barely even see. And you know, I kind of feel envious of you, I guess, that you can do that all you know, absolutely all the time, that you don't have to kind of set your mind in a special groove to get to that.
I mean, I don't know. It's funny, you know, because look,
So I hope that clip shows up in the distillate, right? But he actually breaks down compartmentalized knowledge pretty good, and plays the bit where Holland tells the story of the guy who told him the story about the key in the room. And like, I kind of want to be that guy in people's life, not the guy who goes off and writes books, but the guy who told you the story. Remind me of that. I got a story one time. But this key in the room thing, it occurred to me that recently I was reading recently, and since I don't do that for no reason, I released it as a video for you guys. The importance of dream to read along. Right here, right there. I'm sharing it. People can Okay, so wow, check out how that works. It just covers the other me up. Watch. It's like this. Like, there's that guy. Same shirt though. And then boom, I'm right here. Okay, so I was reading in this the other day, and I read about how I thought that young. Okay, so the part I'm gonna find in the reading, which is from Carl Jung's book, Man and His Symbols, is the description of the room. But first, of course, in this reading, Sherry came in and dropped some baller quotes. So I thought I would give them voice now. Leaving this aside, however, and turning to the embodiment or revelation of thought, we shall find that a man no more creates the forms by which he would reveal his thoughts than he creates those thoughts themselves. For what are the forms by means of which a man may reveal his thoughts? Are they not those of nature? But although he is created in the closest sympathy with these forms, yet even these forms are not born in his mind. What springs there is the perception that this or that form is already an expression of this or that phase of thought or of feeling. For the world around him is an outward figuration of the condition of his mind, an inexhaustible storehouse of forms from whence he may choose exponents, the crystal pitchers that shall protect his thought and not need to be broken, that the light may break forth. The meanings are in those... Oh, jeez, Sherry. The meanings are in those forms already, else they could be no garment of unveiling. God has made the world that it should thus serve his creature, developing in the service that imagination whose necessity it meets. The man has but to light the lamp within the form. His imagination is the light. It is not the form. Straightway the shining thought makes form visible and becomes itself visible through the form. George MacDonald. Here, you read for a bit, dude. But they have been absorbed subliminally, without our conscious knowledge. We can become aware of such happenings only in a moment of intuition or by a process of profound thought that leads to a later realization that they must have happened. And though we may have originally ignored their emotional and vital importance, it later wells up from the unconscious as a sort of afterthought. It may appear, for instance, in the form of a dream. As a general rule, the unconscious aspect of any event is revealed to us in dreams, where it appears not as a rational thought, but as a symbolic image. As a matter of history, it was the study of dreams that enabled psychology. It was the part before of afterthought. Here, just look it up again. What? No, don't. Yes, no, God, no. Just, it may appear for... go back. I can't steer anymore. I can't steer. Remember, Embody, I can't steer all the time. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
Yeah.
Okay, so this young guy in this book here, he describes how things like can go, like they disappear from so we can't remember. They fall into the subconscious. The water, they go. Like, you try to remember it and you can't, and then, like, months later it'll resurface. So, like, the room we're in is a bubble made of the subconscious waters. Where's the part where Gavin did good? Right about here, maybe?
Because I know how to enter into a space where I have faith and belief.
No, I think it was before that.
To go with this idea of motion machine. So we can end up having a faith and a belief which is wrong, right? And what happens is it will cause us to behave in ways which don't correspond with reality. That can happen, and this is, like, looking closely at this, it explains why there's so many different people who believe so strongly about different things, different worldviews, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's philosophy. So we have these believers in dogma. And then when I listened to Paul Vanderklay, he pointed at the story of Jesus walking on water and inviting to walk on water as well, and it requires a faith and a belief. And so because I know how to enter into a space where I have faith and belief, I did that 2 days ago with this idea of large language models and machine learning. Because I know how to do that and commit to a belief and become activated and motivated with a belief, I also know that you can't walk on water because I have...
I can't find my Nemo. I can't find my Nemo. Okay, so key in the room. Here we go. Oh, also, like, did I not put the invite link at the pin? You guys can come in now. I put on the headphones of doom. I'm going to do this last segment, play some branding, and then if nobody's here, it's over. So, but the key in the room, right? The room, you are in a room. The room is made of water, of your subconscious mind. Things can appear in the conscious, from the subconscious, and also from this reality you're interfacing with, as represented through your senses by your mind. This is the room you're in. There is a key in this room. You've been looking for it a long time. The key is you, because it's the knowledge compartment you formed with regard to the reality you're interfacing with, and it's not necessarily accurate. There's things trying to get into your subconscious to let you know that some of your axiomatic presuppositions are wonky, and they won't let you out of the room. But so the key is, you are the key in the room. But I don't know how to explain that to you, because you can't. You can't really explain it to people. It's like a shot in the dark. They get it, you know.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right? What room? I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from. He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Okay. So is it there? Is it up there? I don't know. If not, I'll put the door key in again. Door key. Maybe pins are hard for people to find. Here's a fresh one. Meanwhile, it's been a rough morning. I'm just gonna read some of this Pale Fire randomly for a bit and see if anybody comes in. And then, I'll try to go another 20 minutes. If not, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be here for people. Just trying to be here for people, way down here. One of the lesser shadows, whom we shall call Baron A, had a father-in-law called Baron B. What? Wow, yeah, you have the superpowers. You can add yourself to the stream. I forgot about that. Oh, here comes Paul. Thank you for saving me, Paul. I had nothing today. It was a rough morning.
Hi, guys. Sure I'm muted on the other channel. Good, I am. Yeah, I couldn't stand to see you virtually alone, so I had to come in. And looks like Chad's got your back too. So
that's about all I have these days.
A little bit of Gavin, but I was posting Tom Holland stuff on Twitter, basically following up on the question: should the Pope be on Twitter? And my answer is not if he's going to continue to be captured by the people around him. So what was today's show on, Grizz? You said you had nothing. What does that mean? I can't imagine you had nothing.
Well, it's hard to describe, right? But I had recently I tried a reading of Jung, and he goes into how he's explaining the existence of the subconscious. And that maps to me the room, the key in the room. Like, that's the room. It's like this wall of mind made of water that things can surface and gain and lose salience and all that. And so that's what I was trying to go over. But, like, Gavin really went over compartmentalized knowledge really well with the way that beliefs are the keys that change what rooms we're in and how that... And so I wanted to throw a highlight on that.
I started, Gavin
sent me, I don't know if it's that video or another. I started watching it. I should probably finish it. But I liked what you were doing there with the key in the room, Grizz. And I thought you were onto something, and then you're like, well, I don't know. And then you kind of bailed on it. So I was thinking, I'm going to have to clip this. This looks good. But so keep putting it together, because when Tom Holland said to Paul Kingsnorth, what he got from Origin about, and then other people in the comments were talking about an escape room, the Bible as escape room. I thought that's a good thread to continue to work on. So, and I like what you're doing with the book reading on your channel. So I could not stand to see you despondent or despairing there, Grizz. I couldn't stand that. So I had to jump in.
I appreciate it. I was thinking about going into like Kingsnorth Genesis, because it aligns the way he describes Eden in the fall from Eden. Chad, I'm muting you. It's not your fault. The way he describes Eden was like, it lines up so much with the woo and your frequency. Like we can't tune into Eden anymore because we're soiled now with this veil of disconnection, this selfish self-concern, this installed self that came with the apple bite. And I don't know, it's that inward, that Jesus is knocking on the door to your heart from the inside thing that has me right now. It's like there's the key. It's in the room is just water. And it's but thanks for coming in to bail me out. I appreciate it. Chad, did you? Maybe you can talk now. There you are.
Cassidy, you recently read a portion out of Mere Christianity, somewhere near the back of there, where it has pretty much the same exact image as the room, like a house with all these different rooms and a hallway with doors.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if that's where Lewis had got it, or if it's just like, timeless mimetic imagery or something.
I thought of that too when I heard, because I'd never read that in Origin, and so then when Tom Holland brought it up, I thought of that. But it seems kind of a different metaphor, because Lewis doesn't really talk about keys, but he does talk about sort of the Christian church and denominations, like Mere Christianity is the hallway, and then specific churches. But you can't live in the hallway, and that's part of my point about people finding a church home, is you can't live in the hallway. You have to. It's actually in the rooms where there's food and fire and furniture and fellowship. So,
yeah.
We have our magic devices, which we can be virtually not alone with while we're in the hallway.
Yeah.
And one of the virtual places we can be is on the Baal network. Now that I've pseudo left it and can be holier than thou about it, like, can you address the fact that the guy who owns it wears a Baal costume long after Halloween? And how do you feel about your usage on it thereof?
I'm not catching, because there's a lot of, so Jacob thinks Paul of Tarsus is Baal, and I'm not exactly sure who you're talking. Are you talking about Twitter and Elon Musk?
I am talking about Twitter and Elon Musk. The place where you were just spreading Tom Holland's word, where Hakama says, should anybody be on Twitter? I have to wonder.
That's a fair question.
If attention is worship, I mean, I understand the benefits of being there. I almost paid the $8 a month, But there is the fact that the guy who owns it, in his profile picture on the network, is still in his Baal costume from Halloween. In his profile picture. You have to see that. Well, allow me to show you. Guys, entertain Paul while I look it up.
I've been recently kind of running out of gas on what to talk about as of lately, too. I've been trying to read these different books and just kind of like, and
you don't need to fill the void.
That's that's the temptation, right?
In other words.
Right. Yeah, and it's like it's a really strong temptation. So this morning I actually stepped into some more. Oh, look at this.
Is that what's that a costume of? It looks
Well,
like
look
Flash
at.
Gordon or something.
Oh, you think it's flat? Look at those horns at the top. Look at those horns at the top. I'll continue my research, my deep dive. Continue talking, Chad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a strong temptation to feel like, I'm sitting in a room quiet with somebody and I need to talk. And it's like, you don't need to talk, just stop. And so that's where I'm at. And I've been kind of maybe trying to take a little bit of break. But this morning I got into more of a different creative mode and wrote a poem about embodiment and what AI. I tried to tap into what the AI won't be able to do, and I haven't figured out what to do with that poem yet. I was thinking about coming on here quick and reading it for Grizz, but that would be rude.
No, it'd be great. We'll take your poem as something to wash what I'm about to show out of everybody's minds.
Okay,
Ladies
I'm
and gentlemen.
I'm gonna start talking, and I'm gonna have
No.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm about to show everybody Elon Musk in the costume, bro. Elon Musk dresses up as Devil's Champion for New York Halloween party. Devil's Champion, and this is the place where all of our Christian friends, and he like I showed you moments ago. That history is not there. It's in this history. Moments ago, he still represents this in his ownership of the Twitter, on which you spend your time and Christian attention. God bless us all. God bless us all.
Oh, this is so that hideous strength smell to it of the arrogance that spirituality is nothing but a superstition, and then people start playing with stuff.
Well, I certainly endorse the caution, but if you read the Gospel of Mark, Jesus invades Satan's kingdom. The question will be, I mean, I don't know that. In fact, I know that none of us are up to the level of Christ, but in some ways we must follow. That's always a hard thing for Christians to work on. It's like, do you go into the bar to evangelize? It's always a fraught and dangerous thing. So all of your cautions are well noted, and it's something I wrestle with after I post a stupid tweet that I have to go back and delete. Now, fortunately, my channel is small enough that nobody bothers to screen capture my stuff. But no, it's a very fair question, Grim.
Well, and then should the Pope be there under that circumstance?
But see, part of, and this is what the Cal Zeldin conversation really got turning in my mind, was once I saw that ostensibly, in terms of the Catholic understanding, the Pope sits in Jesus' throne. He's the steward of Gondor, as it were, who sits, in the throne room of the king in lieu of the king. That's in a sense what the Pope does. And okay, fair enough, but how should that be? And so then I played two Tom Holland clips, one where Tom Holland just skewers Thought for the Day and the Anglican Church. They did that with my conversation with Glenn Scrivener in the UK. And then when he's talking to Justin Brierley about during the pandemic, when the churches are playing lapdogs to the government, and he notes that there the Pope stands in front of an icon, and Tom Holland, of course, goes back over the icon. So, no, these are great questions, Grim.
And let's look at the angle of even all the Peterson friends and family. Acknowledge that Twitter brings out his less than appropriate behavior. You have acknowledged that almost everyone who uses the thing acknowledges that it brings out the worst of them. When I was using it, I referred to it, I think, appropriately as the 4 minutes of hate from 1984. Because that seems to be what's going on there. You get on in the morning with your coffee, perhaps while you do other morning routines. Perhaps you do Twitter and 4 minutes, and then you've expressed all your bile for the day and can go about your work.
Yeah. I haven't had a horrible experience on Twitter. I'd say 95% of my Twitter experience is positive, and I think a lot of that has to do with the size and scale of a channel. If your channel is small with some discipline, Twitter can be, I think, mostly a good space. But once you get up to a certain, and there's also, you have to have some rules, like no back and forth with people. Don't argue on Twitter. It doesn't work.
It's an interesting phenomenon to me from another angle, in that ne'er before in our history have public figures given themselves this level of, like, randos can it ruin my day.
Yep.
And that's the power of the horde, and that's I think why it's such a hate machine.
Yep.
But,
well, and you can only do what Paul's talking about if you understand your own limitations. Like, there's a reason why I'm not on Twitter. I know me. I won't be able to be very disciplined on there. Well, not only that, but I won't be able to prevent myself from tearing myself apart when I disagree with somebody. And if somebody can find me the clip of Jordan Peterson talking about recording the wren birds in his backyard and then playing the tape back to the wren birds and having the birds dive bomb him as a kid with his dad.
I remember that.
That would be great, because that's really the symbol. Like, so the symbolism of Twitter is it seems to be more of a place, as Grim said, I wake up in the morning and I start tweeting, tweet, and it's like I'm establishing my it's not a place for communication, not a back and forth communication. It's a place to establish where I stand and stay away. That's how I understand it. It's very what is that word that they said, putting stakes in the ground of where my, I don't know, domain is or something.
Staking out your turf?
Yeah, right. And so, like, I always think of that, like I said, that Jordan Peterson dive bombing wren bird thing. That's Twitter.
Well, I don't know how many of other people, even on the Discord, are aware of this, but we have a section where we do bounties for clips, and you can list that as a bounty for the Reapers to find. There's not much bounty hunting claiming, but as things get rolling, I think that's going to happen. Neutrino, you've been here in the corner. Do you want to say words, or should I kick you off?
Yeah, going back to the Tom Holland conversation, one part that he was talking about, I think it was after the lock and key, was what type of snowball are we? We're some sort of snowball with dirt mixed in it. Are we a snowball core with a dirt exterior? Or are we a dirt core with a clean white snow exterior? And I'd say, depending on what type of snowball you are, is what type of key you want.
I thought I listened to that conversation, but I remember nothing of snowballs.
It's amazing how much I catch re-listening to conversations that I didn't catch the first time. Consciousness is so tricky.
It's a weird, watery bubble of a room.
It is. Grim, I have to say, Grim, and I know I get very effusive when yeah, that's right, when I see things that I think are excellent. And actually, Tom Holland once sent me a message on Twitter and said, he's basically saying, you're basically, you're way too, you're promoting me way too much. And I thought, well, I don't know, I don't really want to embarrass him. But Grim, I really do think you're an intuitive genius. When I look at how you're a mimetic intuitive genius, when I look at how you weave these things together and what comes out of you, these images that come out, it's really inspiring. The downside for this is, just like, Chad, you made me think of this too. So my sister has this YouTube channel, and she, I think, like you guys, is so creative that it's just so hard to live with the chaotic eruptions of all of that creativity. And it's really hard, as Peterson says, to sort of monetize, or not even just to monetize, but to sort of slow it down enough so that people can keep up with you guys. So, and I don't think there's any solution for that in this world. I think actually in the resurrection, these things get perfected in Christ. So, this world is not the end. This world is not the telos. And that's really important to keep in mind, as in a way you labor with your particular geniuses that the world can't fully appreciate, and you probably and will be in some ways feel as much of a burden as it does a gift. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, because I do see you, I do see your hearts, I do see your gifts, and I also see the frustration that in many ways this world will never fully appreciate what you've been given. So I just wanted to encourage you.
I appreciate that. I gotta put out, yesterday I released a talk with this guy Josh Dixon over here, and we go over the tombstone. If you're not gonna bother to watch it and you're on this gunslinger kick, you should at least catch me and Josh's take on the Ringo Holiday dynamic.
Ooh, Ringo Holiday dynamic. Oh, very much. I'm just emptying the dishwasher, and I got to get to church to do some randos conversations, but I will definitely try and catch that. So
thanks for reaching out while I was floundering. You're a great man, sir. Get out of here.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right, take
care. I hate letting people leave. Chad, do you want to say? Wait, Chad, Neutrino, both of you. Where is it?
Do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
No, but thank you anyway.
All right, thanks, Neutrino, for popping aboard. I'm sorry I didn't catch the snowballs. I'll watch that thing again. Chad, you got anything?
Nah, man. Thanks for.
Oh wait, you got that poem.
Yeah, I could try to do it. Let me see if I could pull it up, because sometimes if I click away from the app. Yeah, I'm gonna talk. Tell me if you can hear me. Talk.
I can still hear you, but the audience can't, because I'm pressing this button here. Alright. Now I can't hear you. No one can hear you. Ready, set with the poem? Ready with the poem? Oh wait, no, we can't hear you anymore. You were right about that. Alright, remember, Embody, Chad's gonna release a poem video soon. We all love him. Love Chad. Bye. Bye, Embody.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.